Sit back, relax, recline. While she drops another casual line. You're tuned into Casually Mollie with Mollie Amburgey.
Everyone, welcome back to the Casually Mollie podcast. I am your host, Mollie Amburgey, and we are live in downtown, midtown St. Louis. And we are going to be talking about our show, This Is Casually Happening, Women in Comedy, taking place in the STL Fringe Festival tonight at 7:30 and tomorrow, August 7th at 11:15 p.m. And I am so happy, A, to be back for a new season, but B, to be joined basically by not just any St. Louis comedians, but some of my favorite in the city. So give it up for my girls over here, everybody. We're going to give it up for ourselves. All right, we got the casual intro done. Let's have some fun. How are we today, everybody?
Good.
Yeah. So we've got Jennie Weaver, Jacy Tate, and KB, and we're going to be talking about our little girl dinner segment later. But let's talk about everybody that's here. So first of all, thank you for joining me. This is very exciting. But let's talk about Jacy. Let's talk about how you're in comedy. You're starting here in St. Louis. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into it.
Into comedy?
Yeah.
I always listened to stand-up with my dad growing up. Like, we did not listen to music in the car. Like, we listened to stand-up comedy for the longest time.
Oh, okay.
And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed listening to stand-up. And then I was like 22, I think, and I started going to this open mic in Columbia.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, anybody can do this? You don't have to be a famous comedian? That was a big revelation.
We've learned that, yeah. Yes, very cool. Okay. And then what brought you to now? What brought you to St. Louis?
I was doing it every week in Columbia. There's only one open mic per week, so I was doing that every week. And then I started coming to St. Louis on Wednesdays because there used to be 3 open mics on Wednesdays.
Oh, wow.
I would come here and I would go to St. Charles, and then I'd go to Helium, and then I'd go to Smash'ems. And then I was like, oh, wait, I don't have to. I can just move here.
Oh,
and
okay.
so I moved up here for comedy, and then that was like a year ago.
Nice. Is that the same for you, Jennie?
We moved here around the same time.
Yeah, we did.
Origin story is a little different. But I actually went on a cruise. My mom's family did a reunion when I was like 14, and we saw a stand-up comic on the cruise, and I was like, "That's so cool! I want to do that when I'm older." And then just nothing ever happened. And I got to the end of college, and I was like, "Oh, I'm older. I guess if I want to do that, I could do that now." And my college offered. Like, I went to film school, so it wasn't a real college. They offered stand-up as an elective, and so I took it, and there was like I went to college in Chicago, and there was like a working Chicago comic who taught the class, and so he kind of like taught me the basics of writing, and like I went to like 2 open mics as like homework for the class, and then we got to do a showcase, and then after I graduated, I just kept doing open mics. I was in Chicago for like 2 years, got laid off, grew up here, so I moved back here, and that was around the time Jacy also moved here, so we became besties.
Oh, the way it should be. I love this. What about you, KB?
Me, I started off in comedy. I was a door girl for a very popular comedy show. Will C used to have a monthly show at Blueberry Hill. Mm-hmm. I used to work the door of the show. COVID happened, comedy shut down. In the house trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I survived COVID, turned 40, and said, I want to do stand-up comedy. I went to one open mic, and I was on a show. I bombed. It took me 3 years to get back on stage.
Oh, no. That happens.
I never did take another show. It took me 3 whole years before I ever took another show. I died 4 times after having open heart surgery.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And then there became this unwilling drive to prove a point of why I was alive. And I got laid off in 2023. My caregiving responsibilities won't let me have a traditional job, and so I fight to be undeniably funny.
Let's do it. Yeah. All right. Well, cheers, everybody. We did it. We went into comedy willingly without kicking and screaming. Yay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't reach over this mic. What people may have missed was that I dropped a whole bottle of rosé. So when Jennie was like, oh, I'm running late, I was like, don't worry. I dropped a whole bottle and be able to clean after me. But no, I'm excited to have you gals here. And what I do love about this podcast is that I get to hang out with some of my favorite people, not just saying that because you guys are sitting here, but also B, I love producing shows. To give a background for people who are listening or watching, depending on how you want to view this podcast, is we had a all-female lineup at the St. Louis Fringe Festival a couple of years back over at Schlafly Tap Room. And then now we're going to be partnering with Golden Gems, which is a female-founded business. Yes. So I kind of want to dive in a little bit about your experience as being a woman in comedy. Literally, like,
Oh boy.
yeah, we're diving in. We're diving in. Yeah, you're like, hey, I know. I love that. That was like the reaction. It's like, oh, yikes. We're going to talk about being women in comedy. But I want to
Make
kind of
it
hear, you know, Jenny, you can start us off.
Oh, boy.
What about your experience in comedy, being a woman and having your kind of creating your voice, your experience with that?
When I took that class at DePaul, I think there were 3 girls in the class. There were like 19 of us. 3 of them were girls. I was like, okay. And then I started doing open mics, and my 2 friends I started doing open mics with were both guys. And so I feel like I didn't have any like female friends in comedy for a long time, just because there aren't enough. They're hard to find, I feel like. And so for a while I was like, am I writing, like, am I kind of being a pick-me with the way that I write? Like, am I trying to please, like, am I trying to make men laugh more than just be funny? You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Like, I got to the point where I would like ask my friends for like feedback on stuff I was writing, and they'd say something, and I was like, I'm not gonna say that. And so I feel like I kind of had to find my own voice that wasn't just a male comic's voice in a wig or something, you know? Like,
so not Joe Butler in a wig.
yeah. I did tell him. He did text me. He said, "What color wig?" And I said, "I'm thinking pink, like Shark Girl."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Can I have
yeah.
bangs?" And I was like, "Of course you can have bangs, Joe Butler. You can do anything you want."
Love it.
But yeah, I feel like it took a second to like not. Also, men have so much confidence, just like as a baseline. And I feel like I had so many male comedian friends who were like, I watched them be so confident on stage. I was like, man, why can't I be that confident? And so it was like,
What?
at first, I
Yeah,
feel like
at
I really
first.
struggled with confidence.
Gotcha.
And so I feel like I was like trying to like find my voice as like a woman in comedy, as a writer, but then also trying to like have the fake male confidence that they seem to be born with, I feel like. And then towards like the end of my time in Chicago, I started becoming better friends with women in comedy. And I feel like right when I was starting to click with a bunch of people is when I left.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came here, I was just so glad to have female friends.
Oh, well, I just remember Jenny messaged me about a show, and my dad had passed, so I was kind of like in a totally different space. And I remember just messaging, being like, "Hey, sorry, I just emailed you back 6 months later." And it is kind of scary. I was just like, "Am I going to make a new friend, or is somebody going to be upset?" And Jenny's like, "Oh no, if you want me to do your show this weekend, I'll just show up."
Yeah, I was desperate.
I was desperate.
That's
you killed
fine.
it though. I
Thanks.
remember it was a good turnout.
That was one of my favorite shows I look back on.
Oh, it's honestly one of my favorite shows too.
That was
So,
a
and it's
banger.
going to be your favorite show tonight if you come at 7:30 at Golden Gem. So make sure you do. But I know I didn't even think of it that way, and it is hard. I will say that I feel like sometimes it can be, and I'm 35 and I still feel that way. Like it is intimidating sometimes to maybe walk in, and I bond with women a lot easier than, even though I can socialize with people, it's just easier to bond with a woman just when you simply are one. So I get that, but that's an interesting take. What about you? How do you feel about it? As I take off my jacket.
Being a woman in comedy, it works to my advantage that I grew up as a tomboy.
Okay.
Because I play with the boys, but I don't play with the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's navigating that space. I think being on stage for me, something I had to realize early was only be comfortable saying on stage what I'm comfortable talking about after I get down.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes people want to have conversations. So if I sexualize myself on stage, then that opens up the door for somebody off stage to be sexual with me. So if I'm not sexual on stage, then there's no reason for you to be sexual with me because I never opened that door. So that was something I had to learn really, really early on just as
Okay.
a defense mechanism.
That's smart.
There aren't a lot of women of color in comedy in St. Louis.
Okay.
So it makes it kind of difficult to build bonds because there just aren't a lot of women of color. When I'm on the other side of town doing comedy, I'm always, friendly and cordial, but it's always like, hey. I just never bonded with the girls ever in my life. Like, once I get a friend that is a woman, I'm cool with it. Like, hey, we clicked. I finally met some woman I want to claw her eyeballs out. But for the most part, I hang with the guys. I do guy stuff. Yeah. So it just kind of works out that I'm a tomboy and I hang with the fellas anyway.
Well, I feel like too the men in our scene. Sorry, Lena. Sometimes the men in our scene are actually like really supportive and really awesome. So I love that I have a lot of great like male friends in comedy. Like I was just talking to Michael Anthony last night, and it was really cute over at St. Charles. There was a girl that yelled about being excited about Menards, and Mike just like yells, and I haven't even gone on stage yet. I haven't even done this Menards joke. I can't even tell you in how long. And he goes, Miles, she loves Menards too. And I'm just in the back going, woohoo! Like, yay. And I was like, this is when you know you're getting older, that you're bonding with people about Menards at Home Depot in the middle. And it's like, you know, so there are people that, you know, with good hearts and good souls. And I'm not trying to knock men in comedy, but I do think that there is and should be, whether it's in comedy or even with women in general. I always like to have, like, I always say, like, I'm a girl's girl, and I am very close. I've been very blessed to have a group chat that we consistently support each other, whether like one of my friends is a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, and I have another friend that does tarot readings for a living, and then I'm doing comedy and theater performance, and, you know, it's just everybody, and even in different places and different walks of life. So I think that's great that you have all the different bonds, and I just want to know your opinion, Jacy, as well. What do you think?
Very similar boat as KB is. Like, I grew up like a tomboy too. I was just like really close with my dad. If my dad liked it, like I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do find it easy like to get along with men, which is beneficial.
Yeah.
But it does suck because when I first moved here, like anytime you get booked on a show as a woman, the first thing is like, oh, they needed a woman on the show.
Yeah.
Even getting on the open mic list, I've had a man be like, oh, well, they needed a woman like on the open mic. And I was like, you think that they picked my name for the open mic because I'm a woman?
That's dark.
But
literally, I don't know if we
crazy.
say that out loud. Okay, anyway,
I get very upset about that.
Yeah.
But same thing with like KB said, like just being undeniably funny. Because I used to really get under my skin if someone said like, "Oh, it's so easy to get booked because you're a woman," blah blah blah. And like I just got to a point where I'm confident enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm not just getting booked because I'm a woman. They like my material, like.
Mhm.
So yeah, on being undeniable, like have to have that a different level of confidence, like Jenny was saying, because men are born with this audacity.
Yeah.
And,
That's a great way to say
Yeah.
it. They are born with the audacity. Like, I always call it the Delulu, where I'm like, oh, you were Delulu to go on stage right now and think you have 10 minutes.
I always compare it to like 60% of men think they can land a plane in an emergency with no training. It's like, who do you think you are?
Yeah. By the way, you're getting your pilot's license, right?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, and you have it now?
Yeah, I have my.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Tell us about that real quick. I was like, speaking of landing a plane, this
Oh.
one's probably going to be able to.
Yeah.
So.
Oh gosh, did I bring that up? That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah.
Segue, sidebar. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, when I got laid off and I moved back here, I couldn't find a job. My dad was like, because he's a retired pilot, and so he was getting ready to open a flight school. He's like, just try lesson, just be in my school. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I did one lesson. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Yes.
I just stuck with it. I just got my commercial license, working on my instructing license, so I can hopefully start getting paid more.
Oh my
to
gosh.
fly people around.
Are we going to expect a flight in the future? Like, is that, are we
Anytime. I'll take you up anytime.
Okay.
I take Jacy up. She did not like it.
Stop.
No,
Wait,
no, no.
what? Okay.
I knew you were going to say that. We went up twice. The first time I got to sit, it's a 4-seat plane.
Yep.
4 seats.
Oh,
The
there's 4
first
seats.
time,
Okay, so perfect. We can fit.
Yes.
Got it. Yes.
I sat in the front seat. There was no wind, like the little windsock. It was like completely down, no wind. So it was a very smooth flight. It was very, very fun.
Okay.
The next time I went up, it was a little bit windy. A little bit turbulent, and I was in the back seat, and I was getting really, like, I was cold, but I was sweating, so I was getting nauseous, and there was a lot of
That
turbulence.
makes sense.
And
Man,
then,
oh,
so sometimes she'll let, can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll be like, do you want to touch, like, the,
Controls.
yes. And then the girl in the front seat, she is a comic, and she,
I feel like I just thought all these comics are just in the
Just
plane.
in a plane.
Is this like another
4
what is
comics
that?
on a plane.
4 comics on a plane. So 4 comics land into a plane.
I
Like,
should start a
what?
podcast.
That's
in the
what it
plane.
needs to be. I'm dead. What? Like, I cannot. What is that? What is that? Not to interrupt you. What is that? That movie about like snakes on a plane or something?
I think
it's about.
I think it's
Snakes on
called
a
Snakes on a
Plane.
Plane. I think you
Anyway.
nailed it. Yeah.
It's like comics on a plane. I feel like this like needs to be a whole movie.
Some
We're all
comics
on
are
it.
snakes.
Are you
Listen.
good with flying?
I'm fine.
Yep. That was very convincing.
I don't fly the plane, but
I don't fly the plane,
I mean,
but I'll
because it's
sit.
like, how do you answer that question?
Yeah.
You're talking to a pilot, and you ask me, "Am I good with flying?"
Are you good with flying? Are you good with sitting on a plane?
I'm fine with sitting on a plane. Yes.
And then, so there's another comic.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, whenever it was just me and her, she asked me if I wanted to touch it. I barely put my hands on it. I was like, no, actually, I don't want to. But then she asked this other comedian, shout out Geneva, and Geneva was like
Geneva.
super excited to do it. And then that freaked
wait,
me
I know
out.
Geneva.
It was
Oh my
literally, from my
gosh,
perspective,
yeah.
I was like, Geneva, do you want to take the controls for a bit? Geneva goes, sure. And then backseat, Jacy just goes, and I was like, never mind.
And I felt bad because it wasn't that I didn't trust her. It was just that I was really nauseous.
Oh no.
No, motion sickness is definitely a real thing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
turbulence is just, I don't understand how people can be so calm during turbulence. Like, I was leaving in my early 20s, I was flying with my friend Gabby, and we were on a flight from Florida. And I don't know why we flew in the turbulence. I don't know what the choice was. Again, I'm not a pilot. I don't have a license for it. But everybody's so calm, and this plane was just like jumping up and down. And they're like, "Oh, this is very normal." I'm like, "Is it though?" Like,
yeah, it's like think about when you're on a boat and like the waves bounce you around. It's just you can't see the waves.
Okay.
They're just waves in the air. You can't see them, so they come at you, and you're like, "Whoa, that was there." Because in a boat, you can always see them come. That's the way I describe it.
Spoken like a real pilot.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, that was very, very scientific. What I just said. I was like, it's like an invisible wave.
So where do you, if you don't, where do you fly it? Like where do you fly this plane?
We're
Just
based,
so that way when we board, we'll know
All
where
right,
to
we'll
go.
know where to
Yeah.
go.
We're based at St. Louis Downtown Airport in Cahokia, Illinois. Shout out. We have the best tower ATC people in the world.
Oh, wow.
I love our ATC. I'm going to visit them today, actually. We have one of our students on Sunday, she leaves for Florida to go to like flight school. Like she was in high school, she got a private license. Now she's continuing her training out at college. And so this is like her last day at the airport, and she wanted to go up in the tower and say goodbye to our controllers. And I was like, I'll say hi.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after this, I'm going to go to the airport and just hang out at the tower if they let me. And then,
Okay. Hell
you know,
yeah.
get a little tour and then go work.
Oh my gosh, comedy and flying. So that's what I mean. So we
Comedy.
all do comedy, but we'll go to KB. What are some of your interests outside of it? Like Jenny's obviously getting like a pilot's license. What do you like to do when you're not on
Rob
stage?
Banks.
Rob Banks. Hell yeah.
Rob Banks. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like Rob Banks. I like to read books. I like comic books. I like going to all the free stuff that we have around our city, which I'm very thankful for. Just went to a free art party last night at the camp.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Very
very,
cool.
very nice. They had the kids from Jazz St. Louis singing, and Paisha, the poet laureate, did a poem. Like it was really, really nice time. But I like finding things that inspire me. A lot of my outings inspire my writing. So if I just go out and live life wherever it is, I usually can come up with something that I think is funny in the midst of this. But movies, film, theater, all things media. Yeah.
I could see that.
Hell
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you?
I'm in school full time now.
Oh, that's
for,
right. What are you studying again?
Data science.
Okay.
Just I want to do like a work from home job when I graduate, so I can travel and do comedy. And I
Yeah.
like doing math, so I was like, okay, this is tolerable. So
Okay.
I'm doing that. But yeah, like KB said too, like going out and experiencing things is a good way to write. Because I remember when I first moved here, like I didn't really know anybody, so I was just sitting at home waiting for the open mic to start all the
Aw.
time, and so then I wasn't writing any new jokes because like, oh, there's nothing to write about because I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
But I like going to school. I play music. I play guitar and stuff. That's pretty fun.
Oh my! I didn't realize that. So, do you play acoustic guitar, electric guitar?
I play acoustic. I used to post videos of it, but I don't really anymore. Not because like I don't want to. I just like kind of forgotten about it. Like I'll play for fun.
Yeah, I like that.
I think a music mic. I wanted to do a music mic sometime, but it seems so much scarier than like a comedy open mic. I don't know why though.
I do feel like they're less jaded, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They
Have
think
you-
everything's beautiful.
Have you been to Energy's mic over at Hot Java?
Word Up.
Yeah.
On
Oh
Tuesdays.
no, I haven't.
It
I've
is
been to that
so
once.
positive. It's such a good vibe. She's also a good vibe. She's been on this podcast, but she's also a fellow Scorpio. We had a whole high five about it. So we had a whole high five. It was a big moment.
Yeah.
She's got the longest running open mic in the city.
Oh yeah, longest.
It's been,
and
I think this is year 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Dang.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
what I'm
longest
saying.
running mic in the city.
I haven't been to, so I've done shows in Java, but I haven't done her mic there. But I used to go to the old venue that she had on Delmar.
Mhm.
And it is so positive because she's like, Malls, you're going to go first. So I remember I went first and everybody's like snapping for me as I'm doing like my set. And I'm like, this is so different from the Funny Bone or Helium. Because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I mean, comedy, as you guys all know, and probably people that are listening to this podcast, it is such like a subjective art form. And so it can be intimidating, necessarily when you're sharing really this authentic side of yourself and your story and what you're talking about and hoping that people will relate, which was going to go into Deja. We're going to have our big moment behind the scenes here. Can we show a graphic for Golden Gems, please? So we can show that off real quick. There it is. That is where we're going to be performing, everybody.
Wow.
Pretty exciting. I know. At the store. What's really cool about this venue is that it's got, well, you guys haven't seen it yet, but when you go in, there's the store. And then in the back, they have this like co-working space. And it also is able to have performances and different art forms, things like that. So that's where we're going to be. So thank you. Oh, man. And then what I'm going to ask you guys before we get into our next segment is, as you continue on in comedy, KB, we'll start with you. Because I know you've got interest in media and you're growing and you're doing things. What is something, obviously you are, involved in a lot of things. What are you kind of looking forward to, or what are you wanting to accomplish next as a goal in your career?
My next career goal is I like to start producing showcases.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find a sponsor to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have an income to pay people. But I would like to figure out a way to put more showcases in the urban comedy environment specifically. I think on the urban side, they focus so much on shows and not enough on showcases. So I would like to produce a showcase.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
What about you, Jenny?
I've gotten really comfortable. I have like a really confident 12 minutes, and I can do 20, but I don't have like 13 through 20 is not, I don't think, as good as 1 through 12. So I'm working on getting like a really solid tight 20, and then maybe I want to start hosting more regularly, but maybe start dipping my toes into featuring. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then I really want to make some sketches. All my friends in Chicago make sketches, and whenever I visit them, they're like, "You got to write stuff. You got to make stuff with us." I'm like, "Absolutely." And then I never write anything. So I told myself, sketches are coming. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely let me know. I would wish we would do more of those, because I don't really know a lot of people that write a lot of sketches in St. Louis. I'll be honest. Do you feel that way too, or?
No, I feel like
hot
like
take.
Andreas usually just asks me to be like a girl in his sketches, and I'm like, that's okay. He was always like, can you just be over there and like laugh at what I say? And I'm like, no.
Is this a sketch or is this just real life?
Yeah, this
That's
is
what
just
I'm
his
wondering.
role play.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, I feel like that's a lot of men going, can you just stand over there?
No,
and
it
laugh
is.
about what I'm talking
It is
about?
like him and Dane. I feel like make sketches together, and they're funny. But then every time he asks me to do something, I'm like, you really just want me to be like the token girl in the corner? I'm not gonna do.
So I guess note to self, we're not asking Andres for sketch advice. Got
Yeah.
it. There we go.
No offense, love you, Andreas.
No,
Sorry.
we love him too. It's okay. What about you, JC?
The sketch thing also, Andrew Gaffigan writes a lot of sketches. He writes so many sketches, and then he can't ever find anybody to do it with him. Like him and Enzo. I filmed a sketch for him and Ian yesterday,
Okay.
and it was just them pretending to suck each other off. That was the sketch. And I was like, that's good, guys. That's great.
This is on brand. So on brand.
I was like, yeah, just filming it like that's great, guys. We're on top of a parking garage. It was so stupid.
So I guess like there's people out there doing them,
But those are the
yeah.
sketches. Those are
they're
the
doing
sketches,
something, and I see like it's just what KB said, very on brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jenny, I'm really looking forward to what you're going to be.
Yeah,
writing.
I think sketches has kind of lost its meaning. I used to make short films in film school. I want to get back to short films.
Yeah, that's actually.
I feel like that implies no mutual dick sucking. I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was. When I asked that question, that was a very collective answer. Like it started like we started with KB being like, I want to, bring something to the urban environment. And then it's like, I want to start sketches. And then it's like, oh, there are people that are actually doing this. They're just sucking each other off.
It really started with like, we're going to get more representation in comedy. And it ended with like two dudes sucking each other off.
Yeah.
That's what
And if that's not comedy,
That's word. Yeah. That was genuine.
That was genuine. I mean, we really got the circumference. Exactly. I just love a JC at the same time. We're like, that's what comedy is, It's
That's
just
what comedy is.
It's like we're really trying to get representation, or men are sucking each other off. I don't even know. Which
I can't wait
exactly.
to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit it up and post it soon.
I just also love that was what they thought. Like one day, just like, you know what, we should do a sketch about us. Doing. I'm like, okay. But that's great, Hey, there's a lot of, and I won't hate on St. Louis. Like, there's a lot of really great things that happen here too. Like, especially we're even in the studio where there's a lot of great shows at the Art Museum or Music at the Intersection that's being produced as well. And then also to your point too, like it is kind of scary to do music in a mixed media mic. Like Energy does this very well, but that can be hard too. Because I remember there was one I went to at a local place here when I first moved back, and the music is so long that sometimes when you have it's like, well, I'm going to do comedy now. They're like, well, we were just in the zone listening to a song. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot can get out of it. But yeah, so that means too, especially if you're like, hey, we want more women and representation in comedy, you should come out tonight to our show that we're doing at Golden Gems, Thursday, August 6th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, August 7th at 11:15. But now, Deja, we're going to add another graphic. We're going to do our girl dinner. Everybody.
Girl
the moment
dinner.
we've all been waiting for.
I ate all of mine.
So as you can see.
I know.
That's all right. There's more. Would
I
you
would
like
like
some?
to-
Ooh,
I would
here, you have one
absolutely-
on that side. Here,
Oh
you
my
know what we're going to do?
gosh.
Let's just put them
Put it in
right
the
here.
middle.
Jacy,
Yeah, we'll put them in the
please.
middle.
I've been just replacing the olives.
I know. I was like, I've been talking.
I didn't
with the
even
olives.
like olives until this moment, and I
Oh.
can't stop eating them. I
That's
was
what
like,
I'm here for.
my mom loves olives, and I was like, ew, they're so gross. And I started eating them, and I was like, ew, these kind of gas.
Yeah, they're like, hey, olives. I mean, I'm Italian, so we always like. I like them. There's fried olives, which I did not bring today, but one day we'll have a girl dinner off the podcast when we all hang out.
Thanks,
And
Jacy.
it's called olive fritte, and it's really, really good. So if you ever want to do fried olives, basically that's what it is in Italian. But
Is it two different kinds of meat?
I believe so. Like I feel like this is salami, and I'm honestly not sure what this
Maybe like a
is.
pepperoni.
One has the pepper in it.
Or pepper,
one
yeah.
doesn't.
There you go. But so I recently got divorced, and I've been doing. Thank you, thank you.
I think more women need to get divorced. That's what I think.
Well, I will tell you, it was cute. So last night, Parker Hart, who's
Yes.
another local comedian here, she introduced me, and she's like, she's a funny cow. She recently got divorced, and people were screaming before I even got on stage
That's
because
so
I got
funny.
divorced. So I was like, well, I'll play into this. And I have this whole new bit about like trying to find my next husband at Home Depot because people are like, oh, you got, and I'm like, I'm not against it. Like, it's okay. I'm not against it at all. But why I started kind of talking about, obviously as we talk about in comedy, we talk about what's going on in our lives. And recently what I've been doing is I've been losing a lot of weight because A, I've been drinking less during the week, but B, I've just been making girl dinners. Really, that's why I brought us these classy plastic charcuterie boards from Schnook. Shout out. Love it. Local brand.
Shout out.
But yeah, I want to know what you guys are doing. So whether you're in a relationship, whether you're, just kind of figuring out your life in comedy and whatnot, we're all women here. What is like your epitome to like a fun girl dinner? If you're at home by yourself watching a show, what are we eating? What's up with KB?
I eat more popcorn than Olivia Pope. And charcuterie and smoked canned salmon from Trader Joe's with crispy shallots on top right out the can.
Wait, really? Ooh, I didn't even know you could do that.
If you like tinned fish,
Okay.
I do actually.
Joe Butler
the Trader
loves that.
Joe's lightly smoked salmon in the salmon colored can is
Wow.
perfect girl
I
dinner.
love like canned tuna salad. I know it's bad, but
Hey,
it's so
you gotta
good.
do what you
You
gotta
know,
do.
you gotta do what you. I'm literally, we're like, we gotta do. Yeah, I understand.
I'm like, this is protein. This is omega 3s. This is everything. Yeah.
I love that. So, are you a fish person? Do you like seafood?
Yes, I do.
I love that. Seafood is good.
Yeah. And I lean on girl dinner a lot because my daughter, she's a person on the spectrum and she doesn't eat the same kind of foods that I do. And a lot of times it's like, why would I cook a whole dinner and it's just for me? Because she's not going to eat anything. Like I could cook a gourmet meal. She'll be like, I'll take corn dogs. So yeah, why cook a gourmet meal when I can eat charcuterie and go in my room?
No.
That's facts.
Big
facts.
That's facts. I love it. What about you, Jenny? What are you thinking?
Well, ever since I got laid off, like last year or whatever it was, I moved back in with my parents. So I'm very lucky. I have my mom to cook for me a couple times a week, which is amazing because I know there's going to be a day when I do not regularly eat my mom's cooking. And as much as I can't wait to be independent again and have a big boy job again, I love unpopular opinion, love my mom's meatloaf.
Yeah.
She makes a really good meatloaf.
Okay.
She makes really good pasta. So usually my like perfect girl dinner is literally just my mom cooking for me like I'm a child. And then you get some ice cream and then you get some popcorn. I'm a huge popcorn fiend.
I know. If we had more room, I actually have a bag of popcorn, which we can also dig
I'm
into
actually
one
like,
for
but it's not healthy.
It's
Like
okay.
my obsession with popcorn is psychologically unhealthy.
So I kind of do you here, this is what I'll ask. Do you like it? So like I bought that skinny pop party size like for us, but do you like to pop, like what's more, do you like to pop it in the microwave? Sorry. Or do you also like to, or do you like to get it out of a bag? Or how does it work for you?
No, I like microwaving it.
Yeah.
When it's fresh and hot and you hear it all popping.
It's so satisfying,
Yeah.
isn't it? I know. Yeah.
I like it better than the movie theater popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I just like microwave popcorn.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I need to like only buy it like once a month because then I'll have it every night for like a week. We run out and I'm like, okay. Because if I did it every night, I'd literally die of like a heart attack when I'm 40 because it's like so salty and
Yeah.
but it's so good.
I get it. So we're bringing that on the plane, I guess. We're gonna
Yes.
bring all the popcorn. It's gonna be great.
Got you.
I got you.
I love that. I love. So your mom makes meatloaf. Is there anything special about it that she puts in it?
Love.
That's right. You know, a mother's love.
Stop.
A mother's love.
A mother's love.
She always does. It's like some sort of beef, and then she gets like tomatoes and onions, and like just mashes it all up, and then it's whatever she does. It's gas. Pepper. I don't know what she puts in there.
Oh yeah, but it's great.
Clearly, I don't help her enough because I don't know what she's doing, but it's good.
That's okay. I mean, I love that. Maybe like, Mom, the meatloaf the next time. So
Yeah.
What about you, Jacy?
Pizza rolls with Wingstop ranch. I'll go to Wingstop and I'll be like, can I have 5 things of ranch? And they look at me like I'm the stupidest person alive. It's very funny. Well, they think it's very strange, but I'll go get like 5 things of ranch from Wingstop, and I try to make my
You
own.
know they
ranch.
sell a large ranch.
Yeah, but then I have to like it goes bad.
Oh.
So I just like the individual ones because I'll use that, and then that one will be done. And so I'll get like the little containers because they have given me a large one before instead, which I will also use, but I like to have like the little containers.
Yeah.
And then I also really like this is a gross one, but it's really good. But I like green bean casserole, but I don't want to make like a whole green bean casserole, so I'll just get a can of cream of chicken and a can of green beans. I'll pour it in a bowl, and if I'm feeling really lazy, I'll microwave it. But if I'm feeling fancy, I'll put it on the stove.
Oh, we're getting out the stove.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's a good girl dinner.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, props to you because I haven't. So when I went through my apartment when I first moved in, my landlord's like, and the stove really hasn't been used, and he's not wrong. It really has not been touched. But all I really do is like I have a wok at home too, so I'll just throw a bunch of like vegetables and meat together and just like make stir. That's like what I do a lot. It's just like a stir fry, and it makes me laugh though. I never use like the oven part of it though. I'm just like, oh
Air
yeah,
fryer.
yeah, exactly,
just get an
yeah.
air fryer.
Oopsie, yeah, rice cooker, all the things. Yes,
Something else. Oh,
bless you.
Sorry.
That's okay. You're allowed to sneeze. It's all right.
The way that Jenny is with popcorn, that's how I am with toast. I'll remember how good toast is every once in a while, and like I'll just buy a half loaf. But I'll get like sourdough bread, and I don't have a toaster, so I'll just air fry the bread.
Wow.
And it's toast, yeah. And then I just I like to put butter and jelly on it. I discovered that recently, and it's just things that go on toast. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Have you tried cinnamon with butter on toast?
Yeah, I've tried that.
Cinnamon sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a problem.
You can put it on just
I
regular
love
bread too.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, strawberry jelly and butter, or just butter.
that
Very
sounds
good.
delicious.
It
I mean,
is.
I do avocado toast a lot, and I try to get. I mean, which I know is like very on brand for me, but
Yeah.
It's good though.
It's good for. I mean,
Avocados
yeah.
are amazing.
Well, that's why I always buy them, and I try to put like tomatoes on it and garlic and arugula, and like try to make it fun and fancy. And then I'm in that phase of life where one of my friends, Elle, they make bread. And so I bought like a big thing of focaccia, and I took half of it for like my sandwiches or toast or whatnot, and I put the other half in the freezer. And so, yeah, it's just like, I've had men tell me like they'll see my refrigerator and go, "Oh, this looks really pathetic," and I'm like, it's very suitable for me and like what I'm going through right now.
Well,
So
yeah, when you live alone, like you can't like make it goes bad before you can eat it all. Like
Yeah.
I live
Yeah.
alone and I can't
Yeah.
I buy stuff the day that I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
exactly, yep.
There's no
then
point in
everyone-
wasting it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, I feel so much. That was girl dinner, everybody.
Yeah.
Here we
Girl
go.
dinner.
I love that.
Girl
So,
dinner.
let's talk about we're doing great on time. This is awesome. So, I wanted to ask you guys. We're in St. Louis. We do comedy. We've had people go back and forth in Chicago and whatnot. We obviously talked about sketches and bringing things to St. Louis and different communities of St. Louis. But let's talk about maybe just something doing comedy here in St. Louis. Do you have a funny story that you guys are willing to share that maybe something went awry or something maybe it was a good feel story? We can use that too. Whatever you feel that you are comfortable sharing around our girl dinner, because that's what we would do.
I'll tell.
Yeah.
It's not me, but the funniest thing that's happened since I've been performing stand-up comedy, I was at a cannabis show.
Oh.
And everybody was, kind of going on. The host brought the first comedian up. It was Javon Westmoreland. And as soon as Javon got on stage, a baby started crying. Wow. Now, there is so much smoke in this room. And this baby just starts screaming.
Why was the baby in there?
We don't know.
Great question.
I don't know. But it was hilarious because when Javon got down, I was like, so he was like, I wasn't saying anything to that baby. I was like, no, there was a baby in a cannabis show. how did you not? He was like, because what was I supposed to say to a hi, baby? Baby just screaming down. So that was a funny event. It didn't happen to me, but I was there.
Oh my! I was there.
so
Yes, I was
funny.
there.
And sometimes it's just more fun to even watch and be like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, what is going on? And also, too, it's just like, I mean, listen, I get it when I've had babies brought to my open mic before, too, where there was like a couple downstairs, and I guess one of the bartenders said, oh, there's an open mic happening upstairs. So they walk up, and I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but it was maybe it was Clay Beiersdorfer, and he's like, is there a baby in the back there? And the guy was like, we are so tired and we never get out. She won't say anything. And to this baby's credit, she did, say. So I don't know. It just seems to be. And then I just headlined over at 636 Day, and there was a little baby named Miles, and he was a little redhead.
Aww.
And he just kept like, it got to the point where he was yelling out so much. So I was like, Miles, did you approve of that joke or no? Like, it's just like what you wanted, But then his dad was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mollie. We got to get up for a second because he just pooped in his pants. And I said, that's a new one for me. I made somebody laugh so hard they just pooped and this in their pants. I'll take it. So, hey, it's a normal thing. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So what about you,
That's
Jenny?
so funny. I just can't get over like a smoke shop and a baby's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh. Funny story.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I have more of an
Share. I'll pour some more risotto for myself.
I moved here in June of 2025, and I showed up to I tell everyone that was like my first open mic in St. Louis, but actually when I finished my class in Chicago, and I hadn't even really started doing open mics in Chicago. I just done that class at college. I was home, I was visiting home for like a weekend or like a week, and I decided to go to the Funny Bone open mic, and I was so confident because I'd like just done my showcase at the end of the class where it was a bringer show with 19 of us all brought 10 friends. We had like a 200 person audience, all our friends, so we all crushed. And then I was like, I'm the greatest comic alive. And I went to the Funny Bone. I did my like woke Chicago college kid humor at Funny Bone, and I bombed so badly that when I moved here, the first like month, I actually moved here in like May, and I didn't do comedy here for like a month because I was genuinely so scared. And the first time I showed up at Funny Bone, I was like, oh my God, they're going to recognize me as like girl who bombed last year. And then no one did.
No.
And I've genuinely, I've never told anyone that.
Oh.
But my first open mic was actually in 2023 here.
Wow.
Yep. And it went so badly, it took me 2 years to show my face at Funny Bone again.
I will tell you, and this is nothing, first of all, the Funny Bone is a lovely venue. I just want to make sure everybody says that. Westport, St. Charles, great place. But there is something about this venue where I can relate to you in the sense of that. I remember when I first moved back here, and I started getting into comedy after my plays, I came and did an open mic, and somebody had a fight outside of the Funny Bone. And I remember being like, I don't know if this is for me. And I didn't come back for like a month to the Funny Bone. And John Maddie's like, don't worry about it. It's just a lot of testosterone, just come on back. You're going to be fine. And then I came back and I was like, oh, and then of course, then I've gotten in fights outside the Funny Bone. So, it's just full circle. There we go.
I was going to say, it
happens.
a lot of testosterone in male comics is not that much in common.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh, so I think sometimes like whether it's the Funny Bone or wherever, it's just, sometimes you have these experiences, and I've actually had a lot of people tell me that where they're like, oh, I'm going to try a set and maybe it doesn't go as well. And you just have to like come back, regroup. So actually, I think that's very mature of you, all jokes aside.
Yeah, it took me 2 years, but
no,
it was like my first bomb.
Well,
because like I don't
circle. Oh my God, I cannot even talk. Full circle, you became St. Louis's funniest at the Funny Bone. So,
Okay.
yeah, let's go. Now you can talk. Sorry, I just want to make sure that got pointed out.
Because I'd only done like 2 or 3 open mics in Chicago at that point. And Chicago has such generous crowds. And then I'd done that bringer show. Mm-hmm. And so I was like so overly confident for no reason. And then that was my first like real bomb. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid of the St. Louis scene for like 2 years. Oh. And then I moved here and I was like, well, if I want to do this, I have to get over that. And now we're here. So it worked out okay. But
well, you're so like, it's funny. Okay. It's so funny to like hear these, because I look at you guys and I see such confidence, which is exactly why I hired you to be on my show, right? Like I was like, oh my God. I mean, also, yes, I have what I do love about St. Louis is I'm able to hire people that I would want to work with and also be friendly with. And I know that's like a very blessed situation to be in. So I'm very appreciative to all of you. But it is interesting to hear the confidence level because I watch your stuff and I love like your branding and how you talk about like Jacy, not to give too much away, but you know, she talks about being a stripper and, you know, all the, but I think it's an interesting take how you were talking about like sexualizing yourself. Like, yes, it can be like, I mean, I am like not a prude by any means, obviously, but I like your delivery of it. Like she has this great joke where she's like, oh, you know, people are like, we're going to continue partying. We're going to go to the strip club. And she's like, I can't, the party's over. I got to go to the strip club. And I think that is like such brilliant writing. It makes
so
me
good.
laugh every time. So I feel bad when I'm at the heavy anchor and she delivers it and I go, ha. Sometimes there's like 4 people at that open mic and I'm like, well, that was obviously me. That's just like, sorry, Jacy, didn't mean to be obnoxious during your set.
No,
Yeah.
But it's
you
funny.
and Teal, it's like a catalyst. You and Teal.
I
Okay.
love anytime Teal's at an open mic. I'm like, we're not bombing today.
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's how
love
feel.
Teal.
Teal and I, especially when we laugh together, it makes me happy because I'm like, oh, good, we have such joy. It's like,
He's such
I
like a
love that.
pure writer too. When he laughs at one of
Yes.
your jokes, you're like, oh,
Thank you.
like, oh,
I
it
love
must
that.
be good. Like,
Oh, see, so it's just interesting to me. Again, I don't mean to interrupt. It just makes me like blows my mind, especially too, like when I saw your video. That was actually one of the reasons, even though I answered it 6 months later. See, you 2 years later, 6 months later, I was like, oh my God, her confidence on stage. The same for you. I saw you at Steve's and I was like, oh, I've never really seen KB do comedy. And I was like, her confidence is over the level. And then, you know, I think too, sometimes men can, not to throw men under the bus here, but men can confuse like women having, you know, go right ahead, can confuse confidence with narcissism. And it's like, well, if a man's up there and he's being, are we going to say the same thing about him versus like having that security and having that confidence? And it is scary when you're writing something new and you're doing it in front of people. You're like, well, I don't know if this is going to work or whatnot. So it's definitely just one of those art forms where you have to keep just like getting up and trying again. So props to you for doing that, you know, hey,
Thanks.
you know, and all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to go on a tirade here. But
no, I liked it though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel, since you're bringing up Chicago, and I know you've done stuff in Chicago too. Have you? I don't know. Have you done stuff in Chicago as well?
A little.
A little bit. Yeah. Same. Yeah. Same. A little bit here too. And it's a nice drive. Like honestly, the last weekend I was up there, it was pretty easy, just going straight there and
Yeah.
straight back. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm just in my Jeep, just blaring Olivia Rodrigo. I'm like, okay,
Beep,
but
beep,
you know, hey. How do you feel about the differences between St. Louis here, or do you feel like it's maybe similar?
I think Chicago is a city known for comedy and it has a lot of tourists. And so I feel like there's so much opportunity in Chicago and you can get good there, but it can also make you soft if you're not careful. And I feel like St. Louis, we have tougher crowds on average. And I feel like St. Louis is where you can really get some thick skin and become comfortable with the bomb and the silence. Like I feel like my confidence since coming here, even though I bombed more since coming here, my confidence has gone up because St. Louis kind of forces you to really toughen up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go back to Chicago and you're like, oh my gosh, these crowds are amazing. Not that we don't have good crowds here sometimes, but you know,
Yeah.
it's different when it's a city known for comedy and that has tourism and all that stuff, you know?
It's interesting you bring that up because I did. So OJ Lamont, shout out to him.
Love OJ.
Yeah, love OJ. Yeah, good people. So I did a guest set over at Funny Bone St. Charles because Vic Pandia was just running a little bit late. So they're like, do you mind filling in and doing like 15 minutes? So then OJ and I became friendly. And I was like, sorry, I'm in my workout. I was just going to come watch the show. And I'm just like in my workout clothes. And of course, Jackson Winterwork is there doing pictures. And I'm like, could we at least get a good photo of me when I'm not like working out and sweating coming from hot yoga? But I was talking with OJ and I just like, again, just like his spirit and his charisma just as a person. And then his material was funny, which was great. So when I was in Chicago, he has a showcase at the Comedy Bar. And so it was so sweet to let him, you know, have me do a set. And then he's like, can you close out the open mic too? And I only say this not to be like, oh, you know, but it was interesting to me to see the tourism, like you said, because there's people from Brazil and there were people from Spain and you don't realize like, oh yeah, that's right. Like when you're doing comedy, it's like, how do I relate to this whole room? And so I really appreciate, the point is why I appreciate you bringing that up,
Yeah.
because it is known for comedy. And I did feel very comfortable, even though these people were from totally different hemispheres and parts of the world, because they were so into it and
Yeah.
wanting to be a part of it. But St. Louis is a tougher
We're tough.
response, but it makes you better.
I was
yeah.
bitter at first when I came here. I was like, I left such a good city and now I'm in this one. And I had like a chip on my shoulder for a while, but I was like, you know what? There's actually a lot of really great comics here. We have 3 clubs, and if you can get a crowd laughing here, you can go back to like Chicago or LA or a more comedy known city, and you can crush.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is a good opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm Team St. Louis now.
Yeah.
I took Chicago out of my bio, and now it's just St. Louis comedian.
Well, whoa. Okay. We're making strides here.
That's like in
I
middle
was
school
like-
when you put your boyfriend's initials in
I
your
know.
bio.
I was like holding on. I was like, you know what?
STL.
I was like, I'm only there once a month. I think it's time to admit that I'm a guest.
Oh, no.
So-
Well, I think it's great that,
Thank you.
you're traveling through. And I will say this. So when I was in Chicago, I did an open mic at this cute little cafe called Emerald City. Yeah.
Emerald City's over my.
Oh, loved it. Was a good time. And I'm talking to this guy. We were bonding just like over comedy and whatnot.
Was it Ethan?
No.
the host? Okay.
His, yeah, but he's also nice too. But I was talking, I forget his name at the top of my head, but we were talking and Jacy Tate's name actually came up and I was like, oh, and they said, do you know Jacy Tate? I said, of course. I was like, oh, I love her. Like I'm going to ref her out right now. And they were like, yeah, we thought she like lived in Chicago for some time because she was just coming up and doing mics here. And I was like,
You'd be like,
I've been to Chicago 2 times.
Dude,
oh, really?
By the way,
I did a run of shows there. That was it.
this is a bad time to tell you. Every time I go there, I do say I'm you.
No, that's awesome. That's great. And everybody thinks I'm the funniest in St. Louis.
So that's what people say about me and KB. They just get
Right.
us confused all the time.
All the time.
All the time. We're
I
just
don't even
like,
know
why
who's who
see
right
you?
now.
Twinsies.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
so funny though. I wonder who it was.
Yeah, I'll look.
Was it Damon?
No, I'll look him up.
What
and
Yeah.
I'll
race
look
was he?
up the name. Now we got to know. I'm just like, we'll figure it out. But I was just like,
That
so
is
that's why I
really
wanted to
funny,
ask you, when you're traveling, like even when you go to Columbia and whatnot, do you feel kind of the same audience comparison from St. Louis to Columbia or wherever you're going? wherever you're at, apparently Chicago, where you're famous. There you go.
In Columbia, it's a lot of fun because that's where I started, and this is like not in an arrogant way, but I ran like the only open mic in town. Like we only had one open mic, and I ran it, so I got to be like the big fish in the little tiny pond. And so whenever I go there, it's a lot of fun because everybody's like so excited to see me, and everybody thinks I'm really funny, so that's really nice. But here it's nice too. I do feel like I fit in well here, and I agree with Jenny about the crowds being tougher because like the open mic there is just like it's a dive bar in a college town. Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's $2 Tuesday, so like we'd easily have like 40 to 50 people at the open mic every week,
Yeah.
which they take for granted there because in St. Louis to have like if there's 2 people in the room that like is not a comic.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I'm
That's
I'm
huge.
stoked. Like I feel much more confident. I'm in Chicago. The crowds are so fun. There's like it makes you feel like really good about your set. Like every time I've gone up there, both times I've gone up there, I performed at Lincoln Lodge, which is like an awesome venue.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Best club on the planet.
I've done 3 shows there, and they were all like awesome. Like got really good clips from all of them. Yeah, I like Chicago. I like Columbia. They're doing more comedy there, which is nice. I've been applying to more festivals. I haven't really been outside of the Midwest. I've done some stuff in Illinois, but primarily like in Missouri. But I've applied to a lot of festivals. I'm going to Colorado in October, so we'll see.
Yay! Colorado, actually, Denver, great scene there. So
I've never been, but
yeah.
I'm excited.
There you go. What about you? How do you feel about the St. Louis audiences here?
St. Louis audiences are interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there are several things because like sometimes it depends on where I'm actually performing comedy. So if I'm in a club, they are specifically there for comedy.
Yeah.
I love it. Why? Because they are prepared, primed, and ready to receive. These bar shows, sometimes, they're like, you're interrupting my casino time. Ting, ting, ting. And it's like, okay, but they told me to come here to tell you jokes. So you're interrupting their normal scheduled program before you ever can get to the funny part.
Yes.
So it's like, but I don't think our crowds are super difficult when you understand that comedy is universal and there's no color.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that was the greatest thing that I overcame kind of early on is it could be funny to anybody. It doesn't have to be specific to my gender, my race, and all that. So that helped me break it down. But St. Louis crowds can be challenging because when I've been to Chicago twice, Peoria, they're always like kind of, I don't know, St. Louis is just a tough town. We are tough people. We are tough on other people. It's the show me state. You have to show and prove.
That's really good.
They're-
show me state.
They're comfortable in silence. I feel like in Chicago, if you're bombing, they'll like throw you a bone because they feel awkward in your bomb. But in St. Louis, they'll let you.
They'll
right
stonewall
they're
you.
like, if you're not making me laugh, I'm not gonna give you.
Start putting
And
on their
why would
phones,
they, you
like,
know?
all of that. So this is a show me state.
I've grown to respect
I
it.
think that's the greater difference is that just our state, city logo, slogan, whatever is you got to show.
Prove it, bitch.
I love that. So that's definitely gonna be a clip. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna be like KB, but no, it isn't. Yeah, and I think that's so true. Is that especially with comedy, people are like, I want you to show me, like, show me what I'm here for, and especially like with it being in the Midwest and whatnot. And granted, I've been very blessed to be able to go to New York and go to Los Angeles and Chicago. But I will tell you here, it's a different story because people, in order for them to come out, really have to make those kind of plans. Like they have to get a babysitter. I know Scott James says this all the time. So shout out to Scott James, another local comedian here. But, you know, they're getting a babysitter. They're probably getting dinner plans beforehand. So like you performing for them is like their night out. Even at like the open mic on Tuesdays at Westport at the Funny Bone or Wednesdays in like you never know, like they might be like, well, Tuesday is our only night that we can go out and be with people. So I think, it can be tough and it can sometimes be, you know, a little disappointing if something doesn't go right. But I will say anytime I travel somewhere else, as much as I love going to other places and I understand business wise why you have to go to the coast or Chicago or Austin or wherever, the comedians in St. Louis are so like well trained, and how cool is that we have like a Greg Warren or a Rafe Williams or, you know, a Michael Anthony, like people who can really headline and are very, very good at their craft, and they're just right here in St. Louis. I will say too, from a producer perspective, not to go on a tirade here, but there's a lot of venues that are willing to work with you to do shows. Like I don't think anywhere else could I have done like a podcast like this. Well, maybe now, but or have shows at the City Winery or even just the Golden Hoosier up the street. And I say just, but Garcia Properties has such a presence here. So it's really all about networking and making communities. So yes, like these audiences are hard, but the community aspect of it is really strong here. So
We have a tight knit scene too.
mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I guess now you feel like you're happy being here.
Yeah,
She said,
it took a second. It's once I got out of my own way.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, people here are actually nice, and it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're actually pretty nice. What did you guys say?
you guys are all right.
Yeah. Well, now that I think our podcast is going to come to an end here, and thank you to those who have tuned into our live stream and our girl dinner. I appreciate it. Again, please come see This Is Casually Happening, Women in Comedy, featuring women from the Midwest and beyond. So, you know, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Thursday tonight, August 6th at 7:30, Friday, August 7th at 11:15 at Golden Gems. Can we pop up, Deja, Golden Gems, just one more time, just to remind people, like, this is where we're located. There is Hidden Gems next door. And it's great because Casually Mollie is female founded. Golden Gems is female founded. Two things before we leave. So I know this is a very like cheesy question for a podcast, but I do find things that are very helpful when people do answer this.
Mm-hmm.
What is some comedy advice, and whoever wants to answer first can, that you would give to a comedian or even somebody coming to watch the show, what they could expect, or a comedian if they're writing or trying to figure out their voice, what would you say to them? Or even your younger self?
As a comedian, arrive original. Just show up as yourself. Don't take anybody else's material. Don't jock nobody else's style. Don't get up there dressing like nobody else. Just be yourself. Arrive original. Mm-hmm. That is the main thing that I would tell anybody that wants to do comedy. Be yourself. There are people who know every meme, every clip. They know everybody's everything. So arriving original to a comedian is the best thing that I could tell them over and over and over again. I say it to myself all the time before I get on stage. Be yourself.
Yes.
As an audience member, If you know that you're coming to a comedy show, stop holding your laughs in.
Yes.
Yes.
Let them out.
Just
Yes.
laugh. You're not watching TV.
Right.
The
Let them
person's
out.
there.
They're there.
Facts. I feel like this kind of goes, you kind of like touched on this at the beginning, but don't make comedy your whole life. I feel like there's a lot of people who say like, oh, if you want to make it in comedy, you got to grind, you got to go to like 12 mics a week, whatever. And it's like, yeah, reps is important, but if you're not living a life outside of comedy, you're only going to be writing inside baseball jokes and you're only going to be making other comics laugh. And you don't want to be a comics comic, you want to be an audience's comic. So
yeah.
live your life, have things to write about. That would be my advice. And then for the audiences, yeah, facts.
Facts.
Facts. Be loud.
These are just really good answers. I'm like, okay. All right, JC.
Laugh loud.
What about you, baby?
Yeah, something that's hard in comedy is finding your voice, and I think a good way to do that is I only tell jokes on stage that make me laugh. If it's gotta be something that I think is funny, if I don't laugh out loud when I think of it or write it, I'm not going to say it on stage. And then for the audience, I am not Matt Rife, so you don't need to talk to me, actually.
Oh, I love that.
I'm sorry. That
But
went
then
off
you
for
could
me.
insult them.
Oh,
I
do
don't.
not talk to
But
me.
you-
I'm not a crowd
You can flirt with them and then go viral.
Oh no, gosh, I didn't think of it that way.
You can
What a
flirt
career
with them and
goal.
then
Yeah.
and then release an awful
Well, like,
special.
now, like, audience members are in the headspace of like, oh, I'm helping them. Like, I've heard audience people like, I'm helping them. Like, they're giving you something to work with. I'm like, I wrote this stuff. I wrote stuff to work with, actually.
Clippable crowd work has
Yeah.
ruined some of the back and forth.
Oh, 1000%. I will say, like, sometimes you have to go with the flow. And being in theater, even like when we say, please don't break the fourth wall, there would be people who would break the fourth wall. So I was kind of used to it when I got into comedy. But yeah, I don't know what camera, Deja, I should look into to say this, but I'm going to say this right now. Thank you. Thank you, Deja. You're not helping the show if you are giving input, okay?
Yeah.
Let us do the show. You enjoy, buy drinks, tip your bartender. Okay, back to everybody else.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that get out. If you're casually listening to that advice, no. I think that's great. Well, thank you again. Give it up for KB, Jennie Weaver, Jacy Tate, Purdy B, who was not able to come into studio today. She will be on the show tonight. Jenny will not be here tonight because, speaking of the Funny Bone, our girl is going to be hosting, which is going to be great. Who are you? Who's the headliner?
Warren B. Hall.
Oh, perfect. And Scott James, who we were just talking
Scott
about, is going to be
James.
featuring. Yay.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my gosh. So
excited.
that's going to be great. But you can see her live at Golden Gems at Golden Gems 11:15. So yes, she had said 2 friends might come. So if those 2 friends want to come, let us know.
Megan, bring your boyfriend.
Bring your boyfriend, Megan. Yes, but I'm so excited, but we'll all be there. We're a great hang. I'm going to be in a sparkly dress. Before we go, can we give out some socials, KB? I know I just turned to KB because I love her. KB, go ahead. You know,
It's KB Jokes, KAYBEEJOKES. That's the Instagram, the TikTok, the Cash App, the Venmo. And if I call your phone and my number's not saved, it'll pop up on your caller ID.
Oh,
Perfect.
How do you do that?
We'll talk about it later.
talk about it later. I like that.
I want to know.
All right, Jenny, what about you, babes?
It's Jennie Weaver, JENNIE, the number 4, WEAVER, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Venmo. I don't Facebook. It's no 4, just my name. I tried to make
There's so many platforms. Just
I tried to make my Facebook account public, but then it still says someone requested to friend you, so I don't know what I did wrong. So if someone wants
That's
to,
just how Facebook works.
okay, I don't know. I don't know how Facebook works, but the other 3 I got you.
Yeah, there we go. JC, what about what platforms work for you?
My Instagram is JXCYLEE, and then my Facebook is just Jacy Tate. And then also, can I shout out our show that KB, me, and Jenny are also be on?
Yeah.
August 21st, we're doing Rat Race Comedy Show at Handlebar in the Grove. It is going to be me, Jenny, KB, and we'll have some out-of-town comics, Tristan Bendodi, and
Okay.
Joe Butler will be there also.
Oh,
Joey
yeah.
Butts.
And we will put him in a pink wig.
I was going to say, is he going to be in the wig?
Yes.
That's probably
He
the
do-
only reason
he
I'll go.
doesn't
Yeah.
know it. He doesn't know it yet, but he will.
I love that. I also love Joe Butler. Shout out to Joe Butler for being such
Joey
a sport.
Butts. I
You know,
love him.
literally, we've said him several times, and it's only been because we're going to put him in a wig. So I love that. Well, I'm Mollie Amburgey. Very exciting. Very exciting things. Follow me at Mollie Amburgey, and that's with an IE. And also, please follow at the Casually Mollie podcast. You can find it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. And, you know, always just what are we going to be casually doing now, ladies, now that we're done with this podcast?
Gonna casually go to the airport. I don't know.
Going to the airport to
Yeah.
fly?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. What about you, Jacy?
Casual big fat nap.
Big fat nap.
Casually going to rob a bank.
Oh, and I'm going to casually keep drinking some Rosado and eat some girl dinner. I love you, everybody. Good night. Goodbye. Bye.
That was fun.
Sit back, relax, recline. While she drops another casual line. You're tuned into Casually Molly with Mollie